everybody. I am yet again, Person Kenny Simply Put. And as always, I want to thank you for tuning in and listening. Unrealistic expectations. We'll start with the women first. I've seen this, heard it, watched it, listened to it. Um, don't take this personal. However, if the shoe fits, well. If not, then we're about putting it on. Start with simple stuff. Obviously, this is simply put, so to keep it simple. If your expectation of a man that's pursuing you or trying to get with you, if your expectation of him is to pay all of your bills, to take you everywhere you want to go, um, and do A, B, C, and D. I've even seen as of late where you have women who have kids or a kid, and the man steps in to be the father figure, whether the dad is active or not. If they're in the house, that's his responsibility as a man. And then he gets told, you can't discipline my child, or you can't discipline my daughter or my son, or you can't say this or say that. Okay? That's what's called an unrealistic expectation. Because if he is providing and he is taking care of that child and you, he's taking on that responsibility. Number one, you should be grateful and thankful because that's not something that he has to do, but because he understands that that comes as a part of the package, that's what he does. And he's accepted it, dealing with it head on and fully. However, you, ma'am, have reduced his assignment down to he can't do that part. I'm going to tell you what's going to happen to you. You're going to lose it sooner than later. Because men are territorial. And if you're taking away his rights within his own house to be what he knows he's supposed to be, then you're going to lose. If you're dating him, you all are courting or whatever you want to call it, and you go in automatically, and well, he got to pay all of my bills. Are you paying your bills? First of all. And if you are, these are not bills that he's made. All of this was here before he came into the picture. And you're expecting him to take care of all of this. Now, granted, let's not get this twisted. There are some men that will do that and will do it willingly. However, give him the opportunity to make that decision. Don't just thrust that on him. Because again, it's simple. Some will do it, but you best believe there's an expectation coming behind it. Please understand. It's going to come with a cost. Because that means he's giving you his money. And for a man giving his money, that's a part of his purpose. So when you get into that, it's an investment. So he's going to expect something in return. Are you with me? So don't be unrealistic in doing that. If he's okay with it, you all have communicated, you put some time in, you talk through it, both of you all have an understanding, then amen. Then it's cool. But just don't dive in head first. Oh, you got to do it. Because here's are you willing, ma'am, to do the equivalent of what you expect, ask, or require of him? Are you going to match giving that same thing to him? So if your list is A, B, C, and D, and this is your expectation of what you want him to do for you, are you going to meet his A, B, C, and D, or are you, well, I ain't doing that? Fine, you don't have to. Guess what? That's a choice. And guess what? That is your choice. But do understand, he doesn't have to cover your list either. He doesn't have to. Just because you say, okay, well, and I'm not saying that you're not a queen. I'm not saying that at all. However, he's a king. So are you going to treat him as such? Because his expectation, if he's treating you like a queen, then he's expecting you to treat him like a king. And here's the reality. And I'm not being mean when I say this. Try to be polite. When have you ever saw a king not taken care of? Kings have servants, and I'm not saying that you're his servant. But what I am saying is, if you're in this position and he's in that position, then both of y'all have assignments to fill. Both of you have duties and responsibilities that only the other one can fill. And if you're not willing to, if please understand this, if you're not willing to match the expectations that you have for that other person, then just park it. Just sit it down. It is totally okay. Maybe you, like a lot of us, need some more time to yourself to figure this thing out. But if you're not willing to be the equivalent of what you're asking, and you have this long list of expectations that you require from the other person, and you're not even willing to ask them, well, what is it I can do for you? What is it that you need from me? And that goes both ways. That's not just for the women, for the man, just for the woman. It goes for man and woman. And for you, sir, for the brothers. You expect her to cook, clean, do dishes, wash, all the above. Are you doing those things for yourself, sir? Because as a man, if you're not already providing for you, she's going to have a problem. Now, you have some that don't mind it, and that's cool. If that's your case, if that's your situation, then cool. Roll with it. But at some point, she's going to spin around, and she's going to have a not unrealistic expectation of you being a man. And that is doing these simple things that you can do for yourself and should be doing for yourself that you're making her do. That's going to run out. Because here's what she's not, sir. She is not your mother. She's not your mom. She's your significant other. I choose not to use the word girlfriend because I'm middle-aged and I just don't believe in it. Nothing wrong with it. I just choose not to. You're a significant other. Or your person, however you want to put it. But she's not your mom. She's not your parent. So she's not required to do any of that. Well, she's my wife. I own her. No, you don't. No, you don't. This is a choice. Either way, it's a choice. Regardless of what your expectations are, regardless of what you demand he or she do, it is a choice. And at the point that person decides not to do it, then what? So don't have this long laundry list of things that you require and you're asking of. Keep this thing simple, folks. Like when you start dating or when you make the decision, okay, I like this person, I want to see where this goes, you don't even have to go out and eat. Just go somewhere non-expensive that does not require money. You want to test to see what you have, take money off the table. Just go sit in the park and talk. See how that conversation goes. Go to Starbucks. Go somewhere and just sip on some coffee or whatever you drink. Go somewhere that's non-expensive. It doesn't have to be a 5-star restaurant, and he's forking out $100. He's gonna take me to J. Alexander or Ruth Chris's or Fleming's or Ed's, and that's cool. But when he spins around and he asks you to do the same thing, don't turn your nose up at him. One of the things I've noticed about relationships as of late, especially in the dating part of it, is you have one person that has all the demands and expectations, and they're not willing to do the same for the other person. And it's lopsided. completely. It's completely, totally imbalanced before it even gets off the ground. And then the person wonders why, well, why am I still single? Well, because you're not putting in any work. People, relationships are work. It's not this oochie coochie, I love you, you love me, and oh, she fine, oh, he got muscles. No, it's work because behind all of that, at the end of the day, life still life still happens to everybody. And how they deal with you, how they treat you when it's good, that's fine. How they deal with you when things are not as good, you better pay attention to that. Because if y'all can't sit down and have basic, simple conversations about what it is that you want, what it is that you need, and everything is centered around money. Money is not a man. Money is not a person. It gives you access to be. It gives you access and options to be able to do things. Yes, but it's not a person. Because what happens, it's happened to many of us. What happens, when you hit those spells where you don't have as much or any, and it happens to one, if not both, at the same time. Y'all still have to deal with each other. So if your expectations are unrealistic, that stuff is going to show up. You can only hide it, and you can only mask it for so long, but it's going to show up. Just be practical, people. Just be practical. Everybody's dealing with things. Everybody's dealing with life, and I'm not saying that everybody's having a hard time. That's not what I'm saying at all. But just be practical and sensitive and understanding to the of the fact we're all human. We're all human, and just start out getting to know the person. Have basic, simple conversations. That's all I'm saying. Just don't set the bar so high that Jesus Christ himself can't even date you. you, you, just, you just floating around in the heavens, you think that. No, no, ma'am. No. You're dealing with a man. He inhales and he exhales. You're dealing with a man. Okay? Sir, you're not, it's not, she's not your mom. Have your desires. Yes, have things basic needs, but she's not your mom. So don't be unrealistic with this thing. Keep it simple. I'm Price McKinney, Simply Put, and I want to thank you for listening. This is the Simply Put podcast. Go to YouTube, subscribe, like, watch the video, comment if you choose. Follow me on Facebook. I'm on Facebook, Simply Put with Price McKinney. Instagram, the same thing. I'm a firm believer in keeping it simple. So again, YouTube, Simply Put podcast with Price McKinney. Go there and subscribe if you have not already. And again, I'm not an expert. I just know what I know, and I promise you I'll see you soon.